So we had a 2021 Ford F-350 stop by to get cleaned up. It's about to put some seat covers in it, and they wanted to go ahead and get the interior cleaned up. So before I'll start cleaning the car or truck, I'll kind of run through it and just kind of look over it for a few minutes and get kind of a game plan of how I'm going to clean it. Normally I'll start with the exterior. That way when I'm cleaning the door jambs and stuff like that, the water droplets will sometimes hit the interior, so I won't have to go back and wipe that all over again. So that's why I like to go ahead and do the exterior first. Usually that's the more time consuming part for me, so normally I'll just go ahead and start with that. On newer vehicles like this, before any sort of mitt goes to the paint, I'll do the wheels, tires, and all the problem areas. Problem areas are going to be where the tires are going to fling up tar and other road debris. So you don't want to get that on your mitt because you're going to be spraying it throughout the whole truck. Thus, that's where you get your swirls and scratches. So right now I'm just kind of working the tires with a stiff bristle brush and some 3D degreaser. Then I'm using my detail brush to kind of hit the hubs in a little bit more intricate areas. And then I've got my wheel specific wash mitt right there. I will not use that on the paint, just the wheels and all the problem areas. So like pretty much the only paint areas I'll hit with that mitt are right under the wheel well and like the door jambs and stuff like that, because those really aren't, you're not really worried about those getting scratched. So right there, that's pretty much it. I worked the fender wells with a soft brush. Those work a lot better, get kind of more in those intricate areas. And then I hit the door jambs here, as well as the Nerf bars, and then under the fender wells right here. See right here, that's kind of right where I stopped because I don't want to scratch any of that stuff. And yeah, so now I'm about to start the paint washing process. The first thing I like to clean is the roof. There tends to be less contaminants and stuff like that up there, therefore I'm not going to do as much scratching. When I'm cleaning the roof, I do put my hand on the rubber seal there to make sure I'm not going to dent the roof or anything like that. And then after that, I just kind of start working my way down from the glass. In a truck like this, I'll clean the bed out and stuff like that. You can see here he's got these toolboxes and stuff like that. You're gonna kind of chase the mud out of there, so that's a little bit time consuming, but not a big deal. Then I'll go ahead and kind of start with the tailgate, and then either start with the right side, which is normally what I'll do, so the passenger side, and then kind of come back and then hit the driver's side. But right here I'm just going to go ahead and hit the box first on the driver's side, and then hit the tailgate, and then hit the other side, and then work my way over. Just depends on how I'm feeling that day, so sometimes I'll do it differently. But the last thing I clean is always the front grille, so the front clip, windshield, all that stuff. So you can see here how I'm washing. I'm going in back and forth motions, and I'm starting top and then working my way down towards the problem area, kind of closing and minimizing the amount of scratching I'm doing. Also, the reason you want to wash like that is because the rotary polisher or buffer that you're using oscillates in a circle, so it's actually easier for the polisher you're using or buffer you're using to correct the paint because they're little scratches, and when they're in a straight line like that, it's easier for that polisher to eat up the swirls. So that's something to think about. I try to preserve the paint or keep from scratching it. At least try to, you're still scratching it anyways, that's just part of it, but I like to minimize that, especially on newer trucks and older stuff if it's been taken care of. But sometimes you just have to get it clean. It just might not have been taken that great a care of, so it really doesn't matter how you wash it, you just kind of have to get it clean. But for stuff like this, you have to take more care and think about things like that, making sure your mitt's clean and using the right soaps. After I'm done washing it, I'll go back and kind of start touching up tar and other areas I might have missed. So right here I'm using a product from Stoner. It's a tar remover. I like a spray bottle, preferably. But anyways, kind of what I'll do is I'll spray some on the rag and then just kind of nitpick little areas with it, and then I'll use a different rag to make sure I wipe off all the excess. So if I'll spray it on the paint, you're gonna have a lot of overspray, so you gotta make sure you get all that off. And then right here, I'm just kind of touching tires up with some tire dressing from Chemical Guys. It's a multi-purpose dressing. It's for like rubber tire vinyl, and this is really good too if you're trying to save some money, especially for detailing. You don't need to have 15 different products. You can just dilute them down to different ratios to use for different things. So I like using this dressing. You can use it for different things. See here, I'm using a foam block, especially for tires like that. You need something that's going to kind of work in those areas, so you need some sort of a applicator. And then right here, going over it with a spray sealant from Rennie Doyle. I believe it's Bead Maker. I really like this stuff. It's a really good topper to put on, especially after you just clean the car. It works really well with metallic vehicles and dark colored vehicles, especially stacked up with the soap I use, which is Citrus Wash and Gloss from Chemical Guys. Really good soap too. I'm not completely brand loyal to Chemical Guys, but I do use a lot of their stuff because they do have some really good products. But I use a mix and match of pretty much everybody. I wish I had one company I could just use, but yeah. So I'm kind of touching up all these little intricate areas, these big old bumpers. Just kind of take time. See here, I'm just kind of going at it in sections. And then I'm kind of touching up the grill and stuff like that. I don't want to leave any of those areas alone, so I kind of want to make sure those were all touched up. Here we go, this is the final product. See right here, that soap and spray sealant does a really good job. All the little black accents and stuff really pop when you put that stuff on there, as well as the tire shine. Car just needed to get, well, excuse me, truck just needed to get good shine up, so it always feels good to bring it back to where it needs to be. So very sharp looking truck. So this pretty much starts concluding the exterior and start working into the interior. Just going over it, kind of showing you here just some of the areas that touched up at the fender wells. It's kind of weird on the fender wells, or the wheel wells, excuse me. They just did the one little piece in the back there. They didn't do like a full wheel liner. It was, I don't know, it's kind of weird to me. It would be a lot easier to clean if they just did like one solid piece. But here we go, we're going to start working into the interior now. So here's some befores of the interior. When I'm about to wash the truck, I'll actually rip all the mats out and clean those while I'm washing the car. Or actually right when I get done, that way I'm not using more soap than I need to. So I ended up using an all-purpose cleaner and a detail brush and worked all the intricate areas and then wiped all the panels down and stuff like that. And then after that, I'll go over it with a conditioner and a soft block, and basically this kind of restores the factory finish. These panels and stuff will start to get kind of a dull color, so I found this stuff works really well at kind of shining it up. It's kind of like Armor All, but as you can see, it leaves a satin finish. I like this because it's not really greasy or anything like that. It just leaves a nice factory satin finish, which is what I want. A dry finish, you don't want it real greasy. I don't know why people like that, but hey, I guess everybody's into different stuff, but this works really well. You can see here when we get kind of towards the end, if you look at the bottom part, you can kind of look at the difference in the shine, and I really like that. It just it brings it back to that OEM look. Hit the windows, touched up some areas, and that was pretty much it. You know, I kind of skipped a lot of the process. I ran out of time, so I just tend to cut some of those parts out. I know some of you might have been interested in that, but I was kind of ready to get this thing done. It was pretty cold outside, and I had another pretty big detail after this, which you'll see in the video after this one gets posted. So I'm just starting to wrap everything up here. Well, hey, if you made it this far, I really appreciate you watching and listening to what I have to say, and I hope I can make more videos like this and get some more interesting vehicles to kind of clean up and do some different things, and hopefully do some different stuff other than detailing. Anyways, I was really happy to clean this one, happy with the results, and I'm excited for the next video to show y'all what I've been working on. Anyways, thank you for watching, and take it easy.